Namaste. Welcome to May 2017. Wow, here we are.
Indeed, here we are. And you know, we want to offer you right up front, this is kind of a two-parter this month because there's so much to talk about. So we have this video, which you're watching on YouTube, and then we also have the radio show that we recorded the last Sunday of the month of April. It is right there at ShriandKiraRadio.com, and it's the May predictions episode. You're going to want to watch both, so we're just sharing that with you up front.
Absolutely, because we're at a time where we're cultivating discernment. We're cultivating the capacity to be ever more confident in our authentic beingness. Now that's a couple of magic words, authentic beingness.
And you might say, well, wow, with everything going on the planet right now and everything that I'm feeling and seeing and experiencing, how do I do that, or how could that possibly be when there's so much going on? So let's talk about May energy. First and foremost, remember that this beautiful Mercury retrograde, it really has been a very beautiful experience if you've been riding with this. And if you're not sure why I'm sharing that, go back and watch the April video again. Remember, April was engage, right? It was about bringing it in and engaging. May is very powerful because this retrograde will go direct on May 3rd. However, remember, for most of the month of May through May 22nd, we're actually pretty much, not quite through the 22nd, but it feels like that. We're in the shadow period of the retrograde. So what's happened is that we have, let's just kind of recap, right? We have April, May, June, July. 4 months that are essentially one energy, and the overarching energy is to engage. However, within this 4x4 energy, remember it's the 4 by the 4 culminating with the 8, which is going to be August. There is a power because within this framework of the 4 is the half-life of the 4, which is the 2, and that is May and June. So remember, May and June are framed by April and July. This unit will kind of all come together and kind of be, if I was, kind of coagulating it and throwing it over the field there, that's going to be August. So that means right now is the time, this moment, right now, to absolutely become one with your divine nature.
Wow, one with my divine nature. And that's truly your authentic self. That's the piece of the puzzle that brings you centeredness and connection and a trust in the expanding love. You know, May, because of the shadow of the retrograde, you can think of it as kind of having two sides, so to speak. There is this easing into May, and then there's the latter half of May, which goes into June.
Yeah.
Now, the thing to remember is that this period of time we're in has multiple opportunities for engagement. In the periphery experience, we might call it, there is the engage the polarity, engage the drama, engage the fear.
Or react. And that's the gift of May, is to recognize that reaction is not response.
And so we're at this wonderful metaphor of being in the center of the cyclone. You know, when they fly the storm planes through all the buffeting chaos and they get to the center, it's like an oasis of calm.
It's Shangri-La.
And the sun is shining down and you're in the eye of the storm.
Yeah.
Well, you could kind of consider that May is entering that eye of the storm, potentially. Or you can hang out in the periphery where things are getting kicked up, where polarity, fear, and reactivity are continuing their dance. It really is a matter of presence, is it not?
Oh, it is. It is about presence, and that's the blessing, is that in May, when you carry this presence of your divine nature, then you are able to respond. Versus if you are in deep fear and you are, a lot of people are right now obsessed by all the various things that are happening, then it's going to be a series of engaging reactions. And those engaging reactions, literally it's like this vortex is going in two directions. So May is the perfect opportunity. Remember, we talked about how May and June are kind of this beautiful 2 energy, this half-life energy of the 4 by 4. It gives you the opportunity right now to gift yourself and love your fear. Remember that you've got to begin by loving your fear. If you are afraid, it doesn't mean you're not ascending, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. What it means is that there is an active part of your density experience that's asking for reassurance. And the only way you can offer that reassurance is to love it. And so as you love it, as you give yourself the response of love through the reactivity of fear, you will experience an uplifting, ascended, overarching presence. Now, this is extremely important because May is actually, we talked about May and June being 2 months. Well, May is actually 2 months in one. You've got early May, May 1 through 13, where in the first part of that, remember, Mercury is coming stationary. But this first part of May is very much about the inward journey, about slowing down, really paying attention, and revisiting all the other months. What did you put in place? What have you been, remember February focus? What did you focus on? What have you been putting together? How have you been bringing it forward into the planet? It's like this retrospective moment in this energy of the retrograde, preparing you to lift into this higher ascended presence. And that's May 1 to 13.
And this is an opportunity for each of you to practice more deeply and more consciously your spiritual commitment.
Yeah.
What are you engaging? For those who are deep in the hypnosis of density, that is what we call mass consciousness, there's a lot of fear-based reactivity going on. It's happening across the nations, in Western and Eastern societies, and that when political structures feel threatened, they try to clamp down. When economic structures feel threatened, they try to manipulate. Fear needs an object. Fear loves to find an object it can grab onto and say, there it is, that's the cause, that's what must change. I will project my fear out on the world, and I will then upset and ripple out and stimulate more fear and more objects needing correction. The key here is as we move inward, as we move into our authentic presence, we begin to discover that there is great peace and great love available to experience, regardless of that outer edges of the cyclone.
The center of the storm. And May and June are your opportunity to learn the gift of being in the center of the storm, and to also recognize that, as Shri mentioned in the beginning, we flew into the center. We've got 2 months to experience it. Early May we're coming in, but by late July we're coming out. So here's the good news. You've got to traverse the rest of that storm coming up in August. So why not be prepared? If you know a hurricane is coming, you do some things to prepare. If you know it's going to rain a lot, you do some things. If you know you're going to be snowed in, you do some things. So knowing that there's this energetic kahuna period coming, the end of August into September, why not do a few things to put the left brain at ease? For example, Archangel Zadkiel many years ago shared with us that there will come a time where you might have 2 weeks where you want to make sure you kind of hang home for a while. So why not have some beans? Why not, have some rice? Things that you can easily, quickly, things that store well that aren't canned, right? Remember, canned food is dead food. Have some water available, right? And some other basic things.
When you know that the storm is coming, and many people in coastal areas, this is old hat to them. They've got their water, their food, and some keep the car full of gasoline, those kinds of things. It isn't about fear. It's about being responsible.
Exactly.
It's about paying attention.
Yeah.
We're in a new climate, so there are some things that are smart to do, and here's why. It gives you freedom that should the storm hit, you don't have to move into reactivity and fear, wondering where your next meal is coming from, for example.
Little simple things like keep your gas tank full all the time. These are just basic things. Make sure you have some batteries and flashlights. Candles are more fun. Shri and I have gone, we went 5 days without any contact with civilization due to a heavy torrential storm here. And we turned it into a magical time instead of a panicked time. Now, here's a couple things we want to share around what we just mentioned. If you are doing this and you're preparing this, and we're saying that when you may want to be prepared is for sure by August, we're not saying that there's anything really massive coming in August that you should be afraid of. We are absolutely not saying that. What we are saying is that it's time to love your fear, it's time to look fear in the face, and if you're afraid and you've got that level going on, then do a few things so you can put it away. A few other things you can do is make a conscious decision in May. Remember, it's 2 halves of the month. We have May 1 to 13. Time to slow down, time to see the bigger picture, time to review everything, time to say, okay, here's everything. Do I need to revisit something? Maybe something I looked at 2 years ago. Remember that whole 2-year overlay that we're in right now? You're in this moment of moving forward. Be prepared and ignite your ascended presence, number 1. And that's why we have so much more to share on our radio show.
So one last thing that I think is very important to understand. Fear is not reality. Fear is an anticipation of something. And so it's really important to use fear to find yourself.
Yes.
You can be free through your fear as long as you're not worried about the objects of fear. And this is why the simple preparedness can help you a lot. If you find fear rising in your being, that's a moment to look deeply at it, to say, I love myself even with these sensations that I call fear. And to use it to follow the fear until you find your love again. If you follow fear, it will bring you to a place of compassion, ultimately.
Especially for you. And that's the gift of May. The gift of May is large because it's an opportunity to manifest through loving yourself. Being your presence. Remember, May 1 to 13, very much about slowing down, paying attention, gathering all your gifts. The second half of May is like a totally different month. It's actually the 14th through the 22nd.
You know, and I'm just smiling. You know, there's a phrase, I think we've said it once or twice on other videos, that the evolution will not be televised. It's a little play on words, but one of the things I want to bring comment to. This periphery of chaos, and we're inviting you to stay in the center to find and to cultivate your presence. This periphery of chaos is what's being televised. That's what's in the media. That's what can stimulate the reactive mind. And this is the discipline, is to look at that and to smile and say, this is not my truth, and to come back into your center.
Whew, I love that, because when you get to that second half of May, the 14th through the 22nd specifically, it's going to be about the practical actions and the blessing of knowing how to respond. And this is going to be powerful manifestation time. Things are going to come together. Things that you never thought would happen are going to happen. Really beautiful things. The key is, what manifests will determine your June, July, and August. So why not take advantage of this first half of May, slow down, look at the bigger picture, revisit, reclaim, go into the second half of May and bring it forward, manifest it all together. Make sure that you love your fear, and you will discover the other side. Now remember, we have a lot more to share about May. Go to ShriandKiraRadio.com. Again, it's just ShriandKiraRadio.com. If you're grabbing this in the first week of May, right there on the homepage will be our May prediction show. Listen to it, share it with your friends, send it around. Get people to listen to both of these because there's a lot to know. We're also going to be making a blog on this, so at Shri and Kira Radio, you can tune into our blog, and we respond to everyone who responds to our blog, so you'll see a new blog post about this as well.
It's important to remember the true power resides right here. Your power resides in your capacity to love yourself through anything that the outer world presents. Because power is in its essence the capacity to be in love.
I love that.
To be loving, to be in that divine connection. The world would seek to force you to behave in certain ways, but your power is untouchable. Trust that.
Let May give you the gift of remembering that as well. We love you. Namaste.
Namaste.